and the Chiefs both lose and the Ravens win. So I think only one part of that 3-part equation, one of those dots is going to happen while 2 of the others will not, Justin.
I don't know about that. One of those is highly dubious.
The Buffalo Bills can clinch a playoff berth with a win. So that would give them at least a wild card, which is fantastic news for the Buffalo Bills. And the Patriots have still yet to clinch their playoff berth. They will do so with a victory at Cincinnati. In the NFC, only the New Orleans Saints have clinched, and they have clinched the NFC South division. The Packers are looking to clinch their playoff berth with a win and a Rams loss. The 49ers are looking to clinch their playoff berth, as they have not done yet either at 11-2. They still have not clinched. I believe last season, it was something like 20 teams were still alive for the playoffs. Doesn't seem like there's that many teams alive for the playoffs this season.
No, they're not.
Even though, as I just mentioned, the 49ers at 11-2 still have yet to officially clinch a playoff berth. They will do so with a victory or a Rams loss or a Minnesota and Green Bay loss. The Seahawks at 10-3 will clinch a playoff berth with a win and a Rams loss, a win and a Minnesota loss, a win and a Green Bay loss and Minnesota tie, or if they tie and the Rams lose. So there's a few more clinching scenarios there as we are entering week 15. Still a few teams that are alive for the playoffs, but I think there's definitely a lot less than there were last season.
Definitely.
In the Pigskin Pick'em, the power rankings only got 9 right last week. I did get 12, which was tied for the top spot in our group. Again, I did not have a camera crew on hand to help me out with that. I got 10 versus the spread, which I thought was pretty good, but in the pool I'm in, somebody got 13. So Vegas is still tricking me, and we got a lot more weird lines this week, quite honestly. All right. Thursday Night Football. It's the New York Jets. They're 5-8. The Baltimore Ravens are 11-2. The Ravens are number 1 in the power rankings. The Jets are 27th. The Ravens are favored by 15 points in this one. Let's see here. 23 rushing yards on Thursday Night Football. Lamar Jackson surpasses Michael Vick for the most rushing yards by a quarterback in a single season in NFL history. Vick in 2006 ran for 1,039 yards. Additionally, Lamar Jackson is looking for at least 122 passing yards to become the first player with at least 4,000 passing yards, 1,500 rushing yards in his first 30 career games in NFL history. Other than that, there's really not much to see here. Although I don't have Justin's picks, I think it's safe to assume we're all taking the Baltimore Ravens in this game.
Yeah, pretty much. Real quick on the injuries, you mentioned Lamar Jackson. He's the big name on the injury report this week. Questionable with that quad, officially listed, that is, for tonight's game.
He's
so
not questionable.
At any point well, look, we know he's going to play, but it's still worth mentioning because quad issues don't just go away. They're like hamstrings. They tend to linger. So I figure the more they score, the earlier in this game, the more likely we'll see Robert Griffin III, which is perfectly okay for the Baltimore Ravens because at least they have a backup with a playing style similar to their starter, unlike most other teams in the league.
Yeah, but the difference between Lamar Jackson and RG3 is rather vast. I'll leave it at that.
Sure.
I don't know if RG3 is putting up the rushing yards that Lamar Jackson is at his age.
Probably not. He's probably most likely handing the ball off to the backs or making the throw than running himself.
Yeah.
I think his time in Washington pretty much soured him on running for now.
Justin, unless you have anything groundbreaking on this one.
I would just point out that the Ravens have not had Lamar Jackson play a lot of fourth quarters. So because they've been so far ahead, hopefully RG3, who's, I guess, becoming RGQ4, gets to do that again and they get to rest Lamar a little bit more for the playoffs.
RGQ4. I like that. All right. Sunday football, as always, kicks off at 1:00. I shouldn't say as always. Sometimes it kicks off earlier. Chicago Bears 7-6. Green Bay Packers 10-3. The Packers are 7th in the power rankings. The Bears 16th. Packers are favored by 4.5 in this particular game. Packers won their home matchup last year by only 1 point. They won earlier this year at Chicago 10-3. So Trubisky has righted himself the last 2 weeks versus the Lions and the Cowboys and aims for his third in a row with 3+ passing touchdowns and a 115+ rating. I know it's hard to trust Trubisky, but I think this one is closer than you think, and I'm going to call for a Monty special right off the bat.
Adam and Eve on a raft, a cup of muck, and an upset special.
Going with the Bears.
You would.
Yeah, I'm tempted. Honestly, Trubisky is playing a lot better. If he's an up and down player, he's on and up right now, and the Packers aren't great. I think what is going unnoticed by a lot of people is the fact that Aaron Rodgers hasn't been Aaron Rodgers for a couple of years now. This year, his offensive line is like lapping the league in pass block win rate, and despite that, he's still like check down Charlie and can't push the ball downfield hardly at all. So, records aside, and with a division game, I kind of start records anyway. Boy, I want to take the Bears, but I'm going to go with the Packers, but I can see a strong case for the Bears in this one.
Yeah, I'm going to roll with the Packers as well, but I don't feel good about it. The last couple of games, the Packers have had strong first halves, and they've been relying on defense to hold off in the second half. I mean, they almost lost to Washington last week, and the only thing they did in the second half was kick field goals. So they need to somehow maintain their hot start for longer stretches of time, or at least spread out their scoring of touchdowns through all 4 quarters and not go 2-3 quarters without scoring touchdowns and only kicking field goals, because they've allowed the last couple of wins teams to climb back in late, and just killing the clock and relying on defense is not going to accomplish anything in the playoffs. Quick injuries here for the Bears. Danny Trevathan is questionable with an elbow. He didn't practice yesterday. Tight end Ben Braunecker is in the concussion protocol. He's questionable, along with Taylor Gabriel, who's also in concussion protocol. For the Packers, we have Jimmy Graham and Geronimo Allison with wrist and knee injuries, respectively.
By the way, I forgot to give you the weather report in Baltimore. It will be chilly, but the low is 33. Not as chilly as it will be in Green Bay, where the high will be 19 degrees. Mostly sunny, only a slight breeze, 7 mile per hour winds. So it's just going to be chilly in Green Bay. Not quite frozen tundra, although I believe it is snowing there today. But yeah, just cold in Green Bay. Not much else other weather-wise.
So just typical weather. Gotcha.
Just typical weather. All right. Look at this. We're already here. The New England Patriots, 10-3. The Cincinnati Bengals, 1-12. The Patriots, 6th in the power rankings. The Bengals at 32. I did move the Bengals. I thought about leaving the Bengals. Like, I had moved the Bengals up after their victory, 2 spots. And then after they lost again last week, well, because I thought they deserved a little bit of a reward for winning a game. But I did last week after they lost.
It was a bless your heart kind of move.
Right. After they lost, I moved them back to 32. Now,
okay.
I mean, ultimately, this first pick in the draft, there's another game coming up between the Dolphins and the Giants that is going to make all of this very interesting. But not because of this particular game that we're talking about, the Patriots and Bengals. Patriots are favored by 9.5 games. I've mentioned get-right games for other teams this season. If there were ever a time for a get-right game for the Patriots, this is it. The last time they were on to Cincinnati, which was after a Kansas City Chiefs loss where everyone was questioning whether the Patriots still had it, the Patriots blew out the Cincinnati Bengals 35-17. Not sure if the Patriots can actually score 35 points without a defensive or special teams touchdown, but I do expect one of those types of scores, and we're all going to take the Patriots, I'm assuming, Justin. Justin, I sent you a note in Slack.
I saw.
get a chance, fill out the sheet.
I'll do it on the fly. So I'm calling a final score of, let's see, the Bengals are going to score 6 points. The Patriots offense is going to score 10, and the Patriots defense is going to score 14. So Patriots defense will emerge with the win.
There you go. James, you've locked it in.
The Bengals as a team. Yeah, I did lock it in. I think the Bengals score at least 10 points in this game because, I mean, the Patriots will have one lapse or whatever. The Bengals will figure out something for about 5.5 minutes. I don't want to talk about the Bengals injuries really too much. If anyone's still wondering about A.J. Green, he will not practice this week with the ankle injury. I honestly believe they should just shut him down for the rest of the season. But John Ross also shows up with a foot injury. He was limited in practice. So there, obligatory Bengals injury report for the fans out there.
Let's go to A.J. Green for just a quick second, because if I'm not mistaken, he was never put on injured reserve.
At the beginning of the year, he was designated to return. And they did designate him to return.
Sure?
But he was either PUP or injured reserve in preseason after the ankle injury.
I think he was PUP, but they activated him off the PUP, and he was an active player to start the season, but they never put him on IR. They expected him back after like PUP, the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, that never happened because he wasn't practicing until about week 8 or 10.
Right. So
and
it's
even still, he wasn't really
that.
practicing. He was doing walkthroughs. But if I'm him and this is a contract year, I wouldn't practice or suit up for this team at all. I mean, I've mentioned this before in the podcast. A.J. Green's one of the top wide receivers in the league, easily top 5 if you want to make a case for it, and I won't begrudge you for doing so. But with his situation and what's not happening in Cincinnati, which is winning, I wouldn't step foot on a game field for any reason whatsoever, not even like sweats to support the team. I just chill at home and ride out the rest of the season, get a contract and go somewhere else.
37 degrees is the high. It'll be mostly cloudy. So not quite the perfect day for filming, but opportunity does exist.
Odd. Before we move on, since you're the fan here, I'm just going to throw some names out at you, who plays and who doesn't, because they're all listed as questionable. Mohamed Sanu.
Plays.
Ankle. Julian Edelman, knee and shoulder.
I'm a little concerned because the knee thing happened at the end of the game, apparently, last week.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Squirrel's a tough guy. He's playing.
Okay, well, he missed practice yesterday. Defensive tackle, Danny Shelton.
Yeah, Danny Shelton is not as tough as the Squirrel. So I'd be concerned about him.
Cornerback Jason McCourty.
He's been missing the last few games. I would not be surprised if he's missing again. Quite honestly, the secondary doesn't really need him.
Okay, linebacker Jawan Bentley.
I love me Jawan Bentley, but for some reason he hasn't popped as much as he did his rookie season. I'm hoping that he still shows some signs of improvement, though, because he's a good young linebacker.
All right. Center Ted Karras.
Another interesting one. I think he sprained his MCL a couple weeks ago, which is why James Ferentz, the third center, has been playing center. Oddly enough, the Patriots haven't been having that much problems with pressure up the middle as much as they've had pressure from the right side, which is Marcus Cannon's side, but also the side where you have a tight end to help Marcus Cannon with the blocking on the right side.
Tight end. What position is that?
Exactly. So not too concerned if Ted Karras can go or not, but I would obviously prefer the second center over the third center.
Obviously. And finally, defensive tackle Byron Cowart.
Byron Cowart, I don't think he's been active for any game this season, even when he's been healthy. So not a concern.
Well, there you go. That's it for the injuries for the Patriots.
Perfect. Then we're on to Kansas City, where the Denver Broncos are 5-8. The Kansas City Chiefs are 9-4. Chiefs are 4th in the power rankings. The Broncos are 22nd. The Chiefs are favored by 9.5. They have won their past 8 versus the Broncos, but Drew Lock will get another team coming down from a Patriots hangover. However, this time it's in Arrowhead. This game is going to be a lot closer than the point spread says it's going to be. I think the Chiefs will hang